Hello and welcome to Agile World. Hello, Sabrina. Long time no see.
No, it's crazy, isn't it? We're lying there, don't we? How's it going? I
That's
can
good.
see you've
Good.
got a bit of the sun.
Yeah, it's this light that I've got next to me. It's really good. So we've got some guests today. For a rare occasion, we have more than one person on the show at the same time, and I'm not going to even attempt to introduce people. So I'm going to let you go for yourselves. Who's going to go first?
Ladies first.
Thank you, Carl. So I'm Dhanusha. I'm from Mauritius. So a bit about me. So I've been 15 years in tech. So my career started as a developer, tech lead, project manager, delivery manager. And for the past 3 years now, so I moved into Agile coaching. So I started with a Scrum Master, team coach. So basically, early in my career, so when we started doing Agile, it was more on the doing part, doing the ceremonies, doing the backlog. And then coincidentally, I met Harold at a conference and we connected and I joined one of the banks in Mauritius where they have been going in a transformation journey for the past 3 years. So I joined 2 years ago and it all started as an incubator. So having that startup culture, co-creation, working with customers, and really the agile mindset. So, and now we are scaling up at scale. So the whole bank is starting to transform. And so I work closely with Harold, and I'll pass over to you, Harold.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see Karl was going to say something there.
No, I was going to say, Harold, do you want to take over and introduce yourself? You've been semi-introduced. If you'd like to make it a full cup instead of a half cup.
Okay, cool. I'm Harold, as Dhanusha said. I used to work in Jamaica years ago, and then I transitioned from working as a technical manager, agile coach in Jamaica, and then came to South Africa. And then via South Africa, I came to Mauritius and started working on the larger banks here. So I'm presently working as an agile coach and just trying to help along with the transformation that we have in the current bank that I'm working at.
Okay.
One thing I must say is you two live in what we class in the UK as the honeymoon luxury holiday locations. I am jealous at the moment. I mean, I've had the opportunity to go to so many places, but where you guys are, if you want to send me an invite, you don't need Carl. I'm quite happy to come.
for the geographically challenged in the world, would one of you like to tell us where Mauritius is?
So in the Indian Ocean, so South Africa. South Africa is here, so it's a bit to the right, and so if you want to say, it's between South Africa and Australia.
Okay. I just wanted to check, just for it's one of those things. People often, and certainly in business, they'll nod their head all the way through a conversation, and you ask them a question, they have no idea what you've said or have any context to it. So I just wanted people to know.
I get that often as well.
Okay, so Dhanusha, you kind of given us your agile journey. Harold, how did you get into agile?
I used to work at another financial entity in Jamaica, and I got hired there as a kind of a team coach to coach our engineers. And we were failing, right? We had very smart people and we just struggled to deliver consistently. And one of my CIO at the time suggested that we try this weird thing called XP. We had poor quality with code. We couldn't release on time. Features were missing. And through doing XP, we started improving. And from there, that's where the journey kind of started. And then at some point, I quit and started my own company because, hey, I'm smart. And I failed. I just couldn't deliver anything. From there, I moved to South Africa. And through my network, I started working for a consulting company that got me deeper into Agile and into coaching. And through working with different clients, I learned even more of just being on the job.
Okay.
So it's been kind of a learn and fail and learn fast.
That's good. So you think Agile is a good thing? Sorry?
Definitely.
Yeah. Sorry, I cut across Sabrina completely. Well, it's just there are some people who turn Agile into a religion, there are some people who've named Agile as the devil. So it's a question that I kind of want to ask everyone that gets involved with this show. Is it a good thing? Did it work for you? Did you see people adopt it? Did they want to do it? Did they gain some value from it?
So that's a brilliant question. And at a conference, I once got up and told people, I don't really care about Agile, right? I care about using tools that help us to deliver. Agile just happens to be a tool that I have in my toolkit that helps me to achieve this. So for me, it's less about the doing of Agile and actually understanding how do I adopt the different principles in a meaningful manner that actually help our teams to deliver and help us to get customer value. At the end of the day, that's it for me. So I am not the Scrum god I don't care.
Fair enough. Dhanusha, what about you? Do people lay rose petals at your feet when you come into the building, knowing that you're the Agile goddess?
You know, especially when you're doing a transformation, so there's always that reticence from people who, okay, but what's Agile? It's new. What's in for me? So for me, again, like what I used to think and what I think now has changed. So it's more about the being Agile. There are some simple things you can do to change, like your ways of working, even in your life. So for me, it's all about embracing that change, adapting, and also if things are not working, let's move on. Fail fast, and let's so that's the motto, I think, even in life and at work where we are. So at least to be able to adapt and change. So that's very important.
So one of the questions I get hit with often is in this company we don't fail. So do you hit that one where you, because Mauritius is a different country, would have a different social understanding, different cultural values, but in Europe they're kind of against failure because failure means they failed. How does it work in Mauritius? Do people acknowledge that failure is normal?
I think it has started to change. So because you're all brought up to, you have to get good grades, you have to do this, you have to do so you have to become a professional. So there's like a path that has been led. So now, as we grow, we see things are not like we used to think. So for us, it's a bit now. There's more acceptance, but I won't say it's like universal. But with the new generation and new ways of working, or people like, and with the pandemic coming across, so things change. So now there's more of that mindset, like, okay, I can fail, I can fail, but it's not like our generation. We were like, we have to get good grades, you have to do this path. So that was it. But yeah, I can see there's a trend towards that change now.
Sabrina, I seem to be monopolizing.
No, I'm just about to say, I loved it when you turned around and said to be agile. I mean, that's one thing a lot of companies and a lot of people don't understand. There's a personal agility that you can put to this. There's a behavioral agility. There's the ways of working and the framework. There's multiple different things that can actually support and help your work life as well as your personal life as well. And it's more than just a framework, a method. It's more than that. It's so beneficial. Karl knows, so you've heard me say this multiple times on my passion on that side, but it's nice to actually hear someone else actually embrace it as well.
So how mature is I'm sorry.
You
Go
did it.
on.
That's all right, Karl. We've got to learn the new techniques. I've got a question for both of you. Do you use agility in your personal life? So I'm having a look at Harrod, and I love the fact that you've got a board behind you. You can see it in the back of the screen. Yes. So, but do you use it in your personal life? Because obviously we understand your roles very well, but me and Karl are very similar, and busy life, very, very busy doing what you're doing.
So on my side, yes, we do, right? So like as an example, my kids are homeschooled, and they use elements of this to track. They use like a visual management system to track their work. We do have like family reflections. The wall that you're seeing, that's like my failures and learnings, and things that we want to change. So it's used regularly, or different elements of it in my family. We also do things like feedback. So the entire family has been taught, learned how to give each other feedback, because that's a crucial thing, I think, in families. And it's a similar mechanism that we took from work and then brought it at home and went through, hey, here's how you give feedback, and then let's have these feedback conversations. So I think it relates to what Dhanusha was saying. It's not just a matter of doing the work, it's a way of being. So yes, very much so.
I love it. You brought it into your family. People laugh and joke at me how me and my husband on a weekly basis, on a weekend, we've got our own Kanban board, and we will stand there and have a look at the jobs that we're doing, and we'll prioritize it. And when we've got our little household project, and people laugh at me for it. Or years ago, when I told everyone I Kanbanned my wedding, they laughed at me. So finally, someone else can confirm it works.
I did the same.
Like, it's like directly above my bed is, and unfortunately it's flipped. It's like, it goes, what's my reflection this week? And that's something that at least once a week I have that conversation. What do I want to improve this week? It's just a part of that living the continuous improvement, and you bring it into your life.
Right, for our viewers, our listeners, this is personal agility. This is bringing it into your home life. I'm impressed. I love it. Right, I'll go quiet now. Oh.
So, I mean, it's clear that you both have a mature view of Agile, and you've made it. You have adopted it into your psyche as part of who you are and how you behave. What's the maturity of Agile in Mauritius, and where is it going?
So I would say, that maturity, it has started. There are corporate companies who are here, so they will do the Agile part. They're doing the different ceremonies in here, but us and with Harold, so we've been working a lot with customers, understanding their pains. How do we adopt business agility? So I would say it's not like that mature, like 10 years, but it's more like in the three years.
Okay. Harold, your opinion?
So I concur with Dhanusha, and one of the things that we're trying to do is work together to see how we can grow agility in the local market. So at the company that we work at, we're on a transformation, and we're now looking at how do we scale our transformation in more areas in the organization. So it's still early days. We're nowhere close to, say, most of America or Europe, but we're still early in our transformation and our general agility in the country.
Okay.
And that's exciting. It is exciting when you're at that stage, when it's all very new and fresh. It is really exciting to see it grow.
Yeah. It's like sun, sand, and stand-ups. I mean, that's like one way to give us it.
Oh, that's a nice tagline.
Sun, sand, and stand up. Oh, I can imagine it now. Karl, we need to move Agile World to the beach. I think just confirmed.
Definitely.
Okay. I may be wearing snorkeling equipment, but you're outside of your actual job. Clearly, you're Agilist and you're involved in it in general. So you're starting a new group for Mauritius, aren't you? Tell us about that and what you hope to achieve.
Yes, thank you, Harold. So with a group of friends and colleagues, so we've started thinking, like Harold was saying, but how we have that much experience. We work with a lot of coaches, be it Mauritius, outside Mauritius, but how can we bring it to a larger audience? Then, so from our side, what happened is we've thought of let's do a user group. So we came with the name Agile Mauritius, so which we are hoping to launch very, very soon. So we've been reaching out to some international speakers to share their experience. And what is most interesting is you guys were very flexible to my reach. So we saw you in the Agile Reflect Festival, and that's where it all came up. And now we are busy preparing, so the logos, the meetups, the licensing, Zoom. So yeah, getting the speakers on, and so that's where we are right now.
Okay, and when are you launching Mauritius? Oh, sorry, I always put the country first. I don't know why. Agile Mauritius. When are you launching Agile Mauritius?
It should be by next week.
Excellent.
Yeah. So by next week, we'll start doing the press events, talking about Agile Mauritius, and it's going to be a meetup group initially. And we're hoping to have our first set of speakers at the end of April. And then hopefully once a month, we'll have a different interesting topic. So the intent of Agile Mauritius is to grow awareness in the local market. And this will target Mauritius, Madagascar, Seychelles, those countries in the Indian Ocean.
So you're invading other countries with Agile. You're going to plant the Mauritius Agile flag in, or is it?
We'll start.
I'll tell you a funny story, actually. This is going to show me up now, but I've got to say it. So I was talking to my husband about the other day. When I heard about Madagascar, I actually thought that was only a Disney made-up film.
Yeah, I get that often when you travel.
I need to travel there now, because I said to my husband, going, "Oh, we should watch this film Madagascar. It's a shame it's not a real place." And he went, "It is. Are you joking? Are you joking me, my love?" I am a smart cookie, but I am dipsy. Everyone that knows me.
No, you're not dipsy. It's lack of knowledge. I mean, I hated geography at school, but I learnt what I needed to learn, and I learnt how to research. So when I hear names of places like Timbuktu, which is a real place, I researched it to find out the history of it. And Khartoum is not a misspelling of cartoon. It's these kinds of things. So you find out. So you have a wider vision than the country that you're in. And what is the end game? What do you hope to achieve? Because having people come and talk is great. What do you want people to go away with after these sessions?
So we want to invade people's lives with Agile, right? Bluntly put, we want more persons to appreciate that there are better ways of working and there are better ways of delivering value to their customers. It sounds kind of like a cliche, but ultimately, waterfall has its place, and we just need to get more persons to appreciate that there are better ways of working. Work doesn't have to be this horrible grind of work. So we won't just be covering frameworks. We're going to be framework agnostic, and we'll be covering the full spectrum of things from servant leadership to the agile mindset to mindfulness. But it's things that are in and around and related to agility.
That's fair enough. No, it's good. It's great. And do you have to have a degree in software development to attend?
No.
Who's it for?
It's ideally for anyone who is interested in learning more about Agile, and that's whether you're a team coach, a Scrum master, an Agile coach, a middle manager, an executive. It's just open to the general public, persons who want to learn more about what are the practical things that we can learn about Agile, how do we implement it, and then how do we connect with other persons in the industry who are experts.
Yeah.
Or are you using it? We can learn from them.
Because you can run governments with Agile, and you can run school systems with Agile. We heard about a farmer that's farming with Agile in Africa during the festival. Agile is itself agnostic to how it gets used. So great opportunities.
Oh, we've even had recently somebody who was a chef and used Agile in the kitchen. That was even better.
Yeah.
I think the one thing me and Karl were trying to get out as well is we want to find as many different areas that you wouldn't expect, because everyone does automatically assume it's just an IT industry thing. But it's not. It's happening in so much. We had a talk earlier on, someone said that it's actually being used in pharmaceuticals. That's crazy fast paced. And we want to find as many industries as possible that are using agility. I don't want to just use the word agile, agility.
Yeah. So like I've had a friend that used to work with us, and she took some of the things that we learned and took it into her NGO space. My sister is a consultant elsewhere, and she's using it in the weirdest places. I can't say where because she's
That's fair enough.
We need to get your sister on.
Well, no, I mean, if you can't say secondary,
I can't.
then she definitely can't attend. So
Yeah. So I've gone and presented to her group of people, and I was like, oh, I would never have expected this. So it's no longer about just software. There's Agile HR, there's Agile government, there's Agile in education, as you've rightly said. So it's more about how do we take these core principles, adopt what we need to adopt, and then apply them in a meaningful manner to improve how people do work.
Sounds excellent. I think I'm going to attend.
I've just signed up. So we will be adding the link to your meetup group, so everyone gets an opportunity to see it as well. I've just signed up as well, which is going to be really good. This sounds like this is going to be an absolutely amazing journey, and I love you guys. I love your bluntness.
The first conference you have, that we're all going to attend in person.
Yeah, when we have it face to face.
Yeah,
thank you.
Not because of the location you live in.
Of course, I mean, Sabrina will not go anywhere near the beach. She'll be so focused on being agile.
On the beach, I'm going to do a new different thing. I'm going to create a board in the sand. That's mine.
That's nice.
Who needs post-it notes? Let's stick in some sand. We can do this.
Just get some crabs that are willing to stay still. We'll be fine. Well, thank you both very much. Is there anything else you want to add about what you're doing just at this point in the show? Because I think we're about done otherwise.
No, I would like just to say thank you for inviting us and promoting our user group. So hoping to see you soon as well in our events.
Cool.
That'd be great.
Yeah, and if you attend, I mean, please give us feedback. Tell us what you're seeing that we could do differently. So share your ideas with us. We're happy to learn from others that have been doing this longer.
That's great. Well, thank you both very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for your time.
Bye.